Hello and welcome to Pond of Dreams. Today I am going to talk to you about what we're using this school year for history. We are doing Curiosity Chronicles Snapshots of Ancient History. Let's get started. So this is this year's history program. Like I said, we're doing Curiosity Chronicles, and we're starting at the beginning. We're doing snapshots of ancient history. And I'll link below a video where I talked about what we did last year. We actually did ancient history all the way up through modern history using Story of the World. We just did that as reading, but this year I wanted to slow down. My kids are in 4th and 5th grade. I wanted to slow down and take 1 year at a time going through ancient history, and then through medieval, early history, and then early modern history, and then modern history. We have the hardback version. I ordered the package that had the hardback. I got the softcover instructor guide, and I have 2 softcover student guides. It also came with a timeline kit. It looks like this. And so we have through 3500 BCE, and there's different options in the PDF. The timeline comes as a PDF, and it runs all the way through 2075. You can choose to do it, and you can do, I'm doing a notebook version. These are the markers that it came with. There's 4 pages for ancient. There's other packages. You can do individual items. I know some people, I'm in the Facebook group for Curiosity Chronicles, and some people are just planning on reading this book, especially with the younger kids. I also have the PDF lap book that you can do. You can do it as a notebook or a lap book, and some people are doing that. My kids are not so much into lap books, so I went ahead and got the student guides, which are fantastic, and this. And you can also get these, I believe, as PDFs as well, and this, if I didn't say, is also available in softcover. And it also came with audio files. So let's just go ahead and hop in here. Whoop, sliding books. Sorry, I'm just kind of curled up on the sofa with these today. So far we've done History is Cool and Humans Start Hunting and Gathering. Next week we're heading into Mesopotamia, and this runs all the way up to Rome Falls Apart. On their website, they actually have where you can get PDF version of, I believe it's the first 3 chapters, so you can sample it and see how you like it before you purchase it. There's an intro to the parents talking about it is targeted at elementary children, but on the Facebook group, there's plenty of people that have kids in my children's age range. I have a 4th grader and a 5th grader, and there's some even with older kids, and people using it with, like most homeschool curriculum, through a wide variety of ages, because with subjects like history and sometimes science, those are my 2 combined. My kids are close in age. They're only 19 months apart, so we definitely do those as a combined curriculum together. We do those together as a family. I keep their language arts and math separate, but so you can modify this for a wide variety, and there's different materials, so you can pick and choose which ones work well for your family. So this is done in a conversational style. You have 2 characters in the Ancients book. I believe there are more coming in medieval. We have Mystery Mulling Mona right here, and you have Time Talking Ted. And so they're members, the founding members of this club called the Curiosity Club. And so this whole thing is done conversational style. I read the first time I did the reading. When we got to the 2nd chapter, I used the audio file, and both my kids and I did prefer using the audio file because you have voice actors going back and forth. It's so much more easier to get the feel of a conversation when they are truly different voices, instead of me trying my best at my acting chops and not really being able to pull that off, sounding like both a boy and a girl separately from each other, like the characters. So this worked out really well using the audio for us, and we'll continue doing that. So This is the book, and there's, as you can tell, a lot of great pictures, maps, and things throughout, drawings. So that is your main textbook for Ancients. I'm going to go ahead and just put that aside. Then you have, and actually I'm going to pull out the timeline. So this is, I just printed that off. So now you have your instructor's guide and your student's guide. And the instructor guide gives you your introduction, kind of what's going to be included. You have vocabulary words, definitions, you have comprehension, what do you think questions with spaces to write answers. There's timeline dates to add, instructions for map work, additional activities like crosswords, word search, word scrambles, printable maps for the chapter, coloring pages. So there's a wide variety of things in here. There's Minecraft challenges or Lego if you would like. And there have been great hands-on activities. I'll tell you a little bit about what we've done and flash up a couple of pictures for you to see too. But in the beginning of the instructor guide, it tells you have general book recommendations. I'm just going to quickly go through those, and you're going to find these referenced throughout. Sorry. So let me just go to chapter 1. They are going to be, the ones listed here as general book recommendations. When you get to each chapter, they're going to be the ones that are listed in the cross-reference section. There's both cross-reference and reading suggestions for every chapter. So your cross-reference books, like this one has Kingfisher History Encyclopedia. It tells you pages in that. The Usborne Encyclopedia of World History gives you some pages, and Usborne Encyclopedia of the Ancient World some pages. You can choose. Some people don't read any additional outside of the book. Some people will pick one. I'm picking a couple, and that might change throughout. I might, depending on what the chapter is, I might do more than that. For this particular one, chapter 1, we read both from the Ancient World Encyclopedia, and we also did from the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History. For the next chapter, on 2, I read from, in the cross-references, it gave the Kingfisher History Encyclopedia, the Usborne Encyclopedia, Usborne Encyclopedia of World History, and the Usborne Encyclopedia of World Religions. For chapter 2, I chose to do the readings from Kingfisher History Encyclopedia and Usborne Encyclopedia. It's just kind of, I just review through it and I figure out what's going to fit well into our week. But let me show you. So the books in that section are in this very beginning, general book recommendations. I purchased every single one of them because I know our family and how we like to do history, and so I wanted to make sure to have every single one on hand, and I will show each one of them to you individually. The first one listed is the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History, internet linked, and that is, it is this book right here. That way it can help identify it if you want to go find it. So it is this book right here for the first encyclopedia. The next one listed is the Usborne Encyclopedia of the Ancient World, internet linked. And I'm going to definitely show you this one. I will tell you why. It is huge, and it looks like this. It is almost 400 pages. And there was some confusion because Usborne published 2 different things with Ancient World in their title. This larger Encyclopedia of the Ancient World is the one that is referenced in this book. There is one that is smaller. And the smaller one is actually just verbatim the ancient section of the Encyclopedia of World History. That is not the one that you want to get. If you do get that one, then you won't need this for ancients. But this also has the whole verbatim section from medieval and other additional things. I think this would be the better purchase if you continue doing the program. This one, I will also tell you, is no longer printed. It is out of print. I found this copy on eBay, so if you do want to find this one, you'll need to find it on eBay. I helped one woman on my Facebook group was trying to find it. I found a copy on Half Price Books and put the link up for her. Abe Books has had it. People have found them in a variety of places. There's some that are priced well. I paid $20 or so, I think, for mine. But I've seen people listing these for over $100 too, because there are so many people that are hunting for this. So if you do want to add that, do know that you're going to have to look around online to find a used copy. Sorry to spend so long on that, but it's just come up over and over in my group, so I just want to go ahead and just spell that out. The next one listed is Kingfisher History Encyclopedia, and that is this very large, lovely book, and is also about is close to 500 pages actually. So this is a fantastic reference, and it is referenced a lot throughout the materials. Not every book is going to be listed every single week, and again, it's up to you how many, if at all, if you want to do the general book recommendations that are going to be used as cross-reference listings. The next book is the Illustrated Book of Myths, which is this book right here. And that is not quite, we're about 180. So that is going to be referenced within. We also have the kids' book of world religions, which looks like this. It is a smaller book, 64 pages all the way to the end. And the very last book is Usborne Encyclopedia of World Religions. And it is this book. It is a little larger than the other world religion book. Comes in at about 127. So also listed in the instructor guide are some sample schedules. You can go through, find out what works best for your family. And then for your instructor guide, you're going to have comprehension questions. Let me just show it to you side by side with actually one of my kids' books. Let me get that pillow out of the way. Go with my daughter's book here. And so chapter 1, side by side, you have vocabulary. In here, you're just going to have the words and the definitions in the instructor guide. For your kids, they're going to have this matching section. So they'll have the words, they'll have the definitions, they just draw their lines across. So then in the kids' book, you'll have the comprehension questions, and over here, you just have the question and the answers in the instructor guide. I'll flip positions here. Then you have what do you think questions, and they're listed in both guides. We just talk about those out loud. Next, we have a timeline, and again, it has the same information in the instructor guide as it does in the student guide, what to mark on your timelines. And then it will have map work in the instruction guide and the same words in the student guide for your map work. Your map will be here for the students to label. For instructors, sorry for so much back and forth, but I just thought I'd show you all of this. The maps are in the very back. And also for the very back in the student guide, this time it was the unscramble the word. And in the back of the instructor guide is the activity page solutions. So you can just go back there. And so that's kind of how it works. Also in the first chapter, there's really cool things to do. We did an archaeology dig, and then the kids kind of drew the rocks out, talked about what they found, and I'll flash up a picture of what our dig looked like. And then there was a family tree, which I will flash up a picture here of what that looked like. And so that was a really fun activity. And in addition to these activities, there are reading suggestions. So you have your cross-reference again, and then you have reading suggestions. So this time we read a couple of books on archaeology, and we read a genealogy book, and we did the family tree. They list the activities. We actually did all of them. Make a timeline of your life. So my kids made a timeline, make the family tree, and create an archaeology dig. And we'll have all the information. And then I'll just kind of flash up to the second chapter here to give you one more little look at the program. This one was Humans Start Gathering. They have the reading suggestions. So we actually did Maru of the Winter Caves. That was a fantastic chapter book to read together. My kids really enjoyed that one. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for more chapter books throughout, because that was a lot of fun to do for in combination with our family reading time. And we did some of the other ones too, because Discovering the Cave talked about the Lascaux Cave. So that was awesome, because one of the activities is paint like a caveman. And that was the main activity that we did this week. So we did, oops, upside down cow. We did cave paintings, which was a lot of fun. So there's a lot of great activities to do each week. And you can kind of go through. Some of these are really actually, like this next coming week has a bean growing experiment. I'm not going to go past chapter 3 because I know this you can sample online, but we'll just kind of go up to there. Bean growing experiment is what we're doing, because that is actually timing out quite well. There's a recipe in here too, and that times out with our science experiment that we have too. So we're kind of combining the two together. And this activity with the paintings timed out really well. We had we have an art book, our program that we're doing, that has some good instructions and more information on cave painting with artistic pursuits. And I'll be doing a video about that soon, so stay tuned for that. But one of the things was about cave paintings, and it actually did give history on Lascaux Cave as well. And I noticed that I have some other art assignments in there that are going to correlate really well to this, and also when we get to medieval next year. So that is Curiosity Chronicles, Snapshots of Ancient History. I will give you an overview at the end of the school year, let you know how the whole thing went. But I would say off of our first 2 chapters that we're very much looking forward to it this year. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe and click the bell to get future notifications. And if you could, give this video a like. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.